An anti-abortion measure has been approved by the Secretary of State for signature gathering to get on the 2020 ballot. The measure would ban physicians from performing abortions for women who have reached their 22nd week of pregnancy. Carlos, Colorado has traditionally been a pretty pro-choice state. It's a fairly small L libertarian. Is this just a get out the vote effort, or is this something that might have some momentum in Colorado?
Yeah, we see these anti-choice ballot measures every couple years, and every couple years Colorado voters reject them, and often with double-digit margins. But what's interesting about this particular effort is that the two proponents don't seem to be connected to the major anti-abortion groups in Colorado. In fact, one of the largest, Colorado Right to Life, has already come out against this measure, saying the 22-week ban just isn't strong enough. So without support from the major anti-abortion groups, I really wonder if this committee will have enough resources to gather the 125,000 valid signatures that they're going to need. And either way, really, these late-term abortion bans are really set up to introduce full ban attempts later down the road, and Colorado voters just don't seem to support either.
Patty, getting the permission to go get signatures and actually qualifying for the ballot are two completely different things. But this is an issue that usually has a lot of support to get there, but then not actually to win the election. What do you think is going to happen with this one?
Well, let's remember that Colorado was really the first state to legalize abortion back in 1967 when Dick Lamb was in the legislature. And almost every single attempt that has been made to reduce women's rights on that topic has been pushed back. This is not going to go anywhere. It might get enough signatures, but even if it does, it's not going to pass. We're also going to see counter proposals coming up to lift some of the restrictions that were put on for government payment of necessary abortions. So we might see that coming up too. So it'll be a big debate in 2020, but there's no way this is passing.
David, some folks, and I think actually your employer may be thinking that the fact that the National Popular Vote Compact, that ballot issue is going to be on the 2020 ballot. It's going to be a good get out the vote effort for conservatives in Colorado. Would this do the same thing for progressives?
Hard to say. It'll probably bring out people who may not care much about other issues, but are on the abortion issue, we're very passionately for or against it, so it might stimulate both sides. I think it's important to note this is very different from the ballot initiatives we've seen in previous years, which would have outlawed abortion at like 6 or 8 weeks. This
the
is
personhood ones, right?
This one is 22 weeks, which is a much rarer type of abortion. And I think unlike the previous ones, this one is compliant with existing Supreme Court doctrine on what kind of regulations are permissible.
Marie, what chances does this have going past just the signature gathering phase, but then seen as a campaign in 2020?
I got to agree with the rest of the table. I don't think it stands a chance with Colorado voters. I think we've really led on this issue, and I don't see that changing. I also think it's important to talk about why women get abortions at that week. And usually it's financial constraints, geographic constraints. I think almost 87% of counties in Colorado don't have an abortion provider. It might be something new you've learned about the health of the baby. So there's a lot of good reasons why we should trust women to make decisions for their own health. I don't see a lot of good reasons for putting this on a ballot.